Hello and welcome to video number 2 of the day. For this video I actually want to talk about eBay. Is eBay a good platform to use? And this is going to be really strange for me, and I will say yes. Do I like to use it? No, I don't. I absolutely detest eBay. I hate eBay. I think people are tedious on eBay. I don't like the fact that it's unpersonal. However, for someone who just wants to move some stuff on, eBay is great because not only do you have a benchmark, which I've mentioned in a prior video, you also have a bigger marketplace. You can put your stuff up. Like I put stuff up on eBay and it's been snapped up within minutes. So I'll try and sell it on via social media, on certain forums and also Facebook, etc. And it's been sitting there for days. And sometimes I will literally just slice the price because I don't want to deal with eBay. So what are the good things about eBay? And I'll get onto the pitfalls of eBay in a bit. So the good things, like I said, you've got a bigger market. You've also got the benchmark, and you can look at what the sold price is. It's very useful for me as an individual. So I will often look at what the benchmark for eBay is and try and beat it. So I know what the sale price is on average, give or take. I usually discount the low hanging ones and the extreme ones. They're usually due to currency fluctuations anyway. And I will look at what's fair, and then I'll go out and purchase stock under that, add postage on, and then try and make a return on that. So eBay's great for finding out the prices of things. It's also great because it's got conflict resolution, and that's something that I haven't used yet, but it's very important because if there's no deterrent for screwing someone over, you're not going to use it. Do I think it's justified that eBay takes 10% plus the PayPal fee, which it also owns? No, I think that's scandalous. However, it is cheaper than other auctions. So, for example, if you go to a traditional auction, it's usually the buyer pays spot plus not spot. It pays 20% of the price plus VAT, which is 24% in total, I believe. So it is cheaper than going to a traditional auction. Now, what are the bad parts of eBay? I don't like it because it's impersonal. That will suit some people. Some people are very cloak and dagger. Some people don't like to talk about their private stack. They don't want people to know what they own, and that's completely fair. So for me, I circumnavigate that via having multiple storage places. So I now have 5 storage places outside of my house, which is ridiculous. I don't even own. I'm not even on 6 figures. But I've also got insurance, and I don't feel safe to keep it. And some people are like that. There's people out there who've got bigger stacks than I have who don't deal, and they won't tell people, which is completely understandable. Why would you want the risk of losing it's very hard to earn money, especially if you're starting from the bottom and you don't have a lot of money to begin with. So £1,000 to some people is near on ridiculous. Like, I know it took my mum to save. It took her a year to save £1,000. Madness. That's absolute madness. I couldn't deal with that. So yeah, eBay gives you anonymity. That word has always got to me. You probably noticed that I stutter and stumble through my words sometimes, and that word kills me every time. So, but yeah, eBay gives you that. It also, like, another bad thing about eBay is the fact that people lowball you so hard. It is ridiculous. So I put sovereigns up, and some guy said to me, and I actually admired his audacity, to be fair. He was cheeky as hell. He said to me, he's like, well, if I buy all of the sovereigns that you've got listed, Sean, it's like, can I have 10% off? Because that's what eBay will charge you. And also, can I have the eBay fees off? And also, if I come to collect, can I have postage off? And usually I wouldn't respond to something like that. I'd be like, well, I tend to reply with logic. So if someone's lowballing the shit out of me, I'll say, well, no, because I bought for this and you're not going to buy for that because I'm better at this than most people. And the only way you're going to get that is if you get that from someone you've bought from and not a company, and you've ripped them off. And I don't deal with people who rip people off. That's a fact. It's not good for business. And it's not good for my soul. If anything, I want people to I want people to say Sean is X, Y, Z, and I want them to be positive. We've all got bad parts, but I want people to associate the good things with me when I'm dealing. That way, in the long run, I should prosper. I hope that's the plan. So yeah, I've completely gone off on a tangent, but I don't like dealing with the lowball offers, and there's a lot of people who will say, for example, someone offered me £200 for a sovereign, and I'm thinking, at the time I was like, I can get £220 if I go to a bullion dealer. If I go to my jeweler friend, he'd get me even more, and you want me to post it on top? I was like, that is ridiculous. I was like, do you even know what you were talking about? Do people actually fall for that? I don't know. I've never accepted a lowball offer in that regard. That's scandalous, and it's not something I would do. So yes, the pitfalls of eBay are dealing with lowball offers. Also, the operation system is not that good to use. I often struggle with it just going through it, or I wouldn't want to run a shop on there. I'd rather have a web shop. I don't have a web shop. I very rarely use eBay, but it's not great. It's very basic, and you constantly have to pay for upgrades on it, and it's not. I don't think it's value for money, like especially not coins. Like maybe it's for other, like maybe if you're selling car tires or clothes, and you want to add an extra quid on it because you just want to get shot of it, then maybe that works for some people. It certainly doesn't work for what I'm trying to do. If I'm selling silver and I'm making £1 a coin, then it's not great. So I wanted to add though that although I do dislike eBay, I do make more money on eBay, which is strange. Like the businessman in me says, put it on eBay, you'll make more money. But then I want to get to know people. If it was just about money, then I would have chose another thing to do in my life, because there's not there's not it's not easy to make money doing this. You've got to work hard. You've got to slog it out. You've got to put in the time and effort to find the right contacts to make money. And I don't really buy off customers. I do occasionally, but I don't do it often, because most customers would probably see me in a different light if they realize how low I have to offer to get the stuff I need, especially when buying singles. Like if I'm buying 100 ounces, it's not a problem. I can say, well, this is what I need it for, and they would haggle. But if I'm buying single pieces and I say, well, I need to buy it for this, they're like, oh, I didn't realize it was worth that. And it, it kind of shatters their perception of precious metals, in my opinion, which is not great. I want people to collect their stuff, and I want them to enjoy it, and I want them to, when they relinquish it, I want them to make money on it. I don't want them to walk away thinking, oh, okay. And eBay provides that. So if someone was to take their stuff to eBay, they can make more money on it, which is another positive thing about it. I've gone on a bit of a ramble. I clearly need coffee, so I'm going to call it a day at that. I do think eBay's good. Doesn't work for me, but I will be expanding on it. There's more to come from me this year, so I've spoken to my accountant about separating my business and going into a limited company rather than being a sole trader. Like, I don't want to be a coin dealer. I want to run it like a shop and then deal on the side. And I think that's the way forward, because I want people to feel like they can be consistent with me. So yeah, eBay, it is good. It does have its pitfalls, but I would recommend using it for someone who has a small stack, or someone who just wants to get shot of it quite easily. You can just beat the benchmark and it should sell. So